Hey everyone, it's Brian. I'm coming to you from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm on vacation here with the family, and while I was here, I paid a visit to a comic book store called House of Heroes on Route 17 right here in North Myrtle Beach. Check out what I saw. Down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting my dad, and we took in some sights and did some stuff, and while I was there I did a store visit.
So Brian went south,
You went
I went
northwest.
all the way north,
Yeah.
like up here.
Right.
Comic Collectors Confessions Adventures.
Traveling
Traveling the world to bring you comic shops around the world.
Absolutely. And while I was there, like I said in the intro there, I visited a place called the House of Heroes. It's on Route 17 in North Myrtle Beach. It's run by two guys, one guy named Sean, another guy named Eric. I spoke to them at length. Real nice guys. They know a lot about comics.
How old is the store?
The store's been around for about 10 years, but they haven't sold new comics in 6 years. They
Okay.
only sell back issues, and they have a really big collection of action figures.
Okay.
Lots and lots of action figures for sale, and the prices on the action figures were really good, especially the loose figures.
Okay.
Well, let me go through what I saw first. You walk in, the first thing I saw, they have the action figure of George Lucas in the
I love
Stormtrooper
that.
costume.
I've never seen that actually.
I've never seen it in person. This is the first time I saw it in person. And they were selling it for $30,
Oh, that's pretty good.
which was a good price. Yeah. No, I didn't get it.
See it in your stack,
I didn't get it.
man.
No, I didn't get it. I had to be really careful. They had a lot of
Man.
stuff that I could have
That's
done.
one you never see.
I could have gone really crazy in this place.
Okay.
Especially with action figures. So they had the George Lucas in the Stormtrooper costume. Right underneath that, they had something I've never seen before in any Star Wars anything. It was a Star Wars Bendems pack.
Oh,
It was
I've seen
4
that.
figures.
Yeah,
I've never seen
I
it.
had that actually.
Really?
I have it in the attic somewhere.
It's
yeah.
it's in a box. It has
Luke,
cards.
Luke C-3PO, right?
Yeah, I got a picture up here.
Yeah, I have that.
I never saw it before. It's cool. Again, it's always cool to see something I've never seen before. Like the next thing, a Coneheads action figure. I didn't even know they existed. But they had Dan Aykroyd's character in the
from the
traditional...
movie.
Yeah, and he was in the space costume,
Okay.
not the regular clothes. They also had a Kurt Russell Stargate action figure, which I've never seen before either. I didn't know they made figures for Stargate.
They must not have done very well.
No, they must have, but that's a pretty unsung movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, and even after the TV show, you would think that it would have done
Been more
all right,
popular,
too.
right?
It was
Because the TV show was on for years. Yeah. They had a whole bunch of loose Kenner Star Wars figures. No, I didn't get them. And the prices were actually pretty good on them, but I'm not collecting those because...
But I am.
I know, but I didn't know what you had or what you didn't have. So, not at the time, anyway. And underneath that, even more interesting, they had some Star Wars vehicles. They had a TIE Fighter and a Millennium Falcon, both for really good prices.
Wasn't it a white TIE Fighter?
It was a white TIE Fighter, and we talked to Nick at
Jim Hanley's.
Jim Hanley's to find out why.
Yeah.
And
I had never seen a white one before.
he said that they were... What were they? They were
No, they made. He
were
said
sold
they
without
made
the stickers,
yeah.
right?
No, he said that they made ones that one that you had the picture of
Yeah.
doesn't have the stickers on it, but they made a white TIE Fighter.
Right.
I had never seen it before.
I didn't see it either.
And it was cheap too. He said it was like $25. Right?
It was $25, $30, yeah. I don't have any place for
You
putting
know I don't have a TIE Fighter. You
I
call me
know,
a TIE
but
Fighter.
here I am saying, if you want something like this, contact House of Heroes.
Yeah, okay.
You could find them
The
on
shipping's gonna be crazy.
Facebook. One of the really cool things I saw was the Mego Star Trek tricorder. They had that
Oh, that's
behind
from the 70s.
Yeah, they had that behind the counter. The
That's
box,
not cheap.
Box was in excellent
Oh, in
condition.
box?
Yeah.
That's not cheap.
Yeah, no, it was excellent condition. And then something particular to what we like, they had Halloween 3 masks.
I love Halloween
They had
3.
each one of those in one of our favorite movies. They had the pumpkin, the skeleton, the witch. And they were actually going for not bad.
They're the actual masks?
Yeah, they were full head masks.
They had Silver Shamrock on the back?
You know, I think they did. I know I checked.
Did you
but-
put it on and snakes came out of your mouth?
No, I was too afraid to put it on. I didn't know what
I
would
love
happen.
that scene.
Yeah. Then there was just tons of like loose figures and display cases. They had a Terminator figure. They had.
So their bread and butter is action figures.
It seemed to me they had a lot more action figures. But if you check out some of these images, you see they got a bunch of keys in there too. They had some old Star Wars comics. They had an old Batman. You know the one with the Ra's al Ghul is like a large specter and a
Yeah.
green cover.
Yep.
They had that issue. They had a lot of different good
Is that a
stuff.
Neil Adams cover, I think?
I believe it
I
is.
think it
Yeah,
is, too.
I believe it is. The problem with the store, there were two. Well, the problem for me initially was they had so much stuff. It was so hard to see everything. It was so hard to figure out what to take pictures
Right.
of, what not to, because there was just lots of stuff behind stuff behind stuff. As a shopper, I would say the big problem with the store is location. It's tucked away in a very small strip mall on
Okay.
Route 17. Not easy to find, and there's
How did you
zero
find it
foot
initially?
traffic. I just looked
You
up.
looked for a
I just
comic
looked up comic shops in South Carolina. This was the one that was nearest
Okay.
to where I was staying. There were really only two that weren't part of the big malls. Like you have two big, like sort of mall resort areas. You have Broadway at the beach and Barefoot Landing.
Right.
They had stores that sold like Funko Pops.
Okay,
and
so they have,
action
like-
figures.
it's like those
But that was, like,
collectible comic
really
stores.
expensive
Yeah.
stuff, right? This was like a real mom and pop kind of
Right.
operation, you know. And you know, like I said, Sean and Eric, a bunch of nice guys. You should definitely, if you're down there, go check out the store, especially if you're looking for action figures at really good prices.
Right.
I bought a couple of comics there. I kept my spending down because
You were on vacation. So.
I was on vacation and I could have spent a lot of money there, but I did not because there was limited room in the car on the way
Could have
back.
bought me a TIE Fighter.
There wasn't room. It's just-
TIE Fighter. The wings come off. It's like this big.
So, again, if you're interested in checking out any of their stuff, I'll show it at the end. Actually, the House of Heroes is on the back of their cards.
Oh wait, isn't House of Heroes? Didn't they pop up in one of our? Remember we talked about them in one of our episodes. We went to one of the conventions, and the House of Heroes stickers were on the back of one of the.
Oh, maybe.
Remember we said, and
Maybe.
we were wondering if they were still in business because I said how much I like when they have the
Was it
stickers
House of
on it. I
Heroes
think
that
it was
that
House
was?
of Heroes, yeah.
Oh.
But I thought that was one in Jersey.
Oh, maybe it was.
It's a good name for a comic shop.
Great name for a comic store. Yeah. So let's see what I got. I got some weird. I specifically went for stuff.
Time
that
for the
just-
haul.
Yeah, time for the haul. It's a small one, just a few.
No TIE Fighter.
But you're not gonna let me live it
No,
down.
I'm not.
No. But
$25. That's great.
I just grabbed stuff that jumped out at me, stuff that I thought might be interesting to pursue research for other episodes, and this paid off big time. I think this is the first thing I got was Zen Intergalactic Ninja #1. It's by Archie Adventure Series. It came out in September of 1992.
Okay.
It's written by Steve Stern with art by Ron Andrew, Mike Esposito, and Will Sipser. It's character Zen. He's the blue guy here at the bottom. He fights Lord Contaminus for the fate of the Earth. Now, the weird thing about this was Zen has a really complicated history in comics, this character.
I've never heard of the character.
He starts as an indie comic, goes to Archie Adventures. It doesn't really work out at Archie Adventures, so he goes back to indie. Now, this is the more children-oriented storyline for Zen, whereas most of the indie stuff is much more adult-oriented.
Who publishes it indie-wise? You know who the indie?
It was at First Comics, I know
Okay.
that, and then it went somewhere after that, and it's still getting published now.
Really?
He's still bouncing around, Zen.
Okay.
He had an NES game and a Game Boy game,
Really?
and there was a line of action figures for these characters.
I don't know anything about the character.
I never heard of it before. But
Oh,
then I suddenly
here goes
found-
a rabbit hole
there was
for
a
Brian.
whole rabbit hole there.
Brian is going down a Zen rabbit hole.
So, yep, that was the first thing I
Wow.
got. And again, I just bought it because I was like, well, that looks weird. What is it?
What is it? A free collector's mini poster inside?
Yeah,
Is
there
it
is.
in there?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Go ahead. You can talk about your next thing.
The next thing I got, you know I love the Toxic Avenger. So I saw this. It's Toxic Crusaders #1.
There's the action figures.
Yeah, the action figures are right on the back.
Oh, I had no idea.
It's like a whole world that we don't even know
Wow,
about.
I had no idea there was such a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, there's the mini poster.
There's the mini poster in the middle.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Brian's going to be looking for Zenit conventions going forward.
Maybe, yeah. I'd like to see what his first comic series was like.
What's his first appearance?
I don't know.
You have some water
A
damage.
little water damage, yeah. A little bit.
Feel it. Moisture. Not water damage, that's moisture.
Yeah. Anyway, second comic was Toxic Crusaders. This was the Marvel Comics tie-in with the Saturday morning cartoon. It ran for 13 episodes in 1992. This is from May of 92. And actually, you could watch the episodes right now on Tubi. It's a really weird cartoon because what they did was they took the hyper-violent Toxic Avenger movie series and they turned it into a kid-friendly
cartoon.
Saturday morning cartoon.
That would work for Rambo, too.
Yeah, right. This was written by Simon Furman, art by Derek Yaniger and Marie Severin. And the cover here is by, you recognize that style?
Yeah, that's Keith.
Sam Keith. And he did a bunch of covers for this series, actually.
Yeah, I recognize it.
His
right away.
style really matches the characters very well, I think.
He's actually great for the documentary. It's funny, my youngest daughter, Cassie, who's on the show sometimes, she just graduated college, and her and her friends are really big into Toxic Avenger right now. Like, they love the movie.
Oh, the movies are fantastic.
And we saw action figures and she wanted to buy it for her friends. Like, that's like,
there's a remake coming up.
Yeah, no, we canceled it.
They did?
Yeah, it's not coming out now. There's been major problems.
That really sucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
As of right now, not coming out.
All right, you're going to easily recognize this one.
It's the 25th anniversary cover.
Do you have this?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So this is G.I. Joe 53. I got it because it's the Marvel 25th anniversary cover.
Yeah.
This came out in November of 1986. Of course, written by Larry Hama, art by Rod Wiggum, and it's got a Snake Eyes cover by Mike Zeck.
Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, you look at the gun right away and you're like, oh, that's Mike Zeck.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Really
That's one
good.
of the better 25th anniversary ones.
Yeah, it's a good one.
They come down to 6 of them I need. The really hard ones to find.
Yeah. Now, this next one opened a real rabbit hole for me. I've been buying, my brother-in-law at an antique store found a bunch of Silver Age Superman comics, an Action Comics and a Superman comic. And he picked them up for me thinking I would like them, and I do. I really like them. My favorite thing about Superman in the Silver Age are the covers.
Right.
Because the covers were just this big advertisement for the comic itself.
And that's what they had to do.
Right. So this is Superman number 214. It came out in February of 1969 from DC Comics. Written by Cary Bates and Jerry Siegel.
Wait, what year did it come out?
1969.
69, dudes!
Thank you.
God. Cover by Neil Adams. Art by Kurt Swan and Neil Plastino.
Oh, wow. That's a Neil Adams cover.
Yeah. And it mentions a character. I did a short on this, if you've been watching. Zavam. Never heard of this guy. But on the cover, Superman says he's one of his most dangerous enemies.
Who no one knows.
Well, Metallo, sure. You got your Silver Age Metallo with his
Before he was all metal.
very slick
Yeah.
mustache.
He's got the kryptonite in his chest.
Yep, kryptonite in his chest, right? I like this too. Where's Superman? I can't see any spooks. So anyway, Zavam. Here's a quick breakdown of Zavam. In the past, this is a perfect example of Silver Age looniness.
Yeah, but they wrote a comic and it was crazy.
The Olympian gods look into the future and they see that they've been completely forgotten by almost everyone, but now everyone in the future loves Superman, right?
Okay.
They're worshiping Superman the way they used to worship them.
Oh, interesting.
So they get pissed and they create this guy, Zavan, right? His name is an acronym. He has the power Zeus, Hercules.
So it's Shazam. It's the same as Shazam.
He's definitely an homage to Shazam before DC bought Captain Marvel.
There you go.
Yeah, or before they published Captain Marvel.
What's the V?
Okay, so it's Zeus, Hercules, Atlas, right?
Yeah. Venus.
No, Vulcan.
Okay.
Because he has the firepower that comes out of his mouth. Apollo, because when he goes like this, a bow and arrow appear in his hands and can go through anything.
Okay.
And the speed of Mercury.
Mercury, all right.
Yeah. And he has a belt. I read his original introduction, which was 2 years before
So this isn't his first appearance. He
No.
appears somewhere else.
He only appeared in one storyline. 3 issues of Action Comics.
And then this is the follow-up. This is the only other time he has appeared.
But he doesn't appear, just as a ghost. He's
Oh,
not
he's
really
not
in
in
it.
here. Oh,
no, he's not
okay.
really in it. Just a ghost of him is.
Okay.
Now, this is great. He also has a belt with these letters on it, right?
Right.
And when he pushes the the letter, he gets another additional mythological power from whatever that letter is. So he pushes G, and he gets the power of Medusa. The
Wait, so
Gorgon.
does he have all of the letters on?
No,
his
he just
boat?
has just a few selected letters.
Oh, okay.
And in the storyline, I went back and read his first appearance. It's Action Comics 251 through 253. It is one of those absolutely insane Silver Age stories where you're like, what the hell
What were
is
they
going
thinking?
on? Yeah, it's great. He makes his
This
Zavam makes
is
his,
Dalibin? This is from Dalibin?
that was $5.
Oh, okay.
He makes his first appearance by crashing through the wall at the United Crime Syndicate's headquarters because they're looking
Okay.
for a new leader. So he decides he's going to be their leader. He busts in,
Okay.
and he shows them his power. And the way he shows them the power of Zeus, the Thunderbolts, he points a finger at a huge statue of Superman that is in the United Crime Syndicate's headquarters, and he blows it to pieces. Now, inevitably, this raises a bunch of questions. Why does the United Syndicate
Have a statue
have
of
a statue of
Superman.
Superman, their enemy?
Still standing. Okay.
Superman at this time, by the way, I didn't realize this, could travel through time.
Oh, that was one of his powers?
Yeah.
Wait, so that means that in Superman, when he travels back in time, that it's actually a power that he has.
Yeah, I guess
See,
so.
we always make fun of that.
Right. Well, he travels back in time at the end of this story to try to talk to the Olympian gods and be like, what are you doing unleashing this maniac? And he and Atlas team up and fight Zavam
In the present?
in the past.
Oh, okay.
And then when they beat him, the gods are like, yeah, we're sorry about that. And they just basically turn Zavam back into clay, and he's
And that's
never
it.
seen again.
And he's never appears again. This is
Never-
the ghost.
That's it.
That's interesting.
And yet here,
He's
he's
one
mentioned as one of the most powerful villains.
Okay. Who's made of clay?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's got like those crazy moments where like Zavam is like, I'm going to destroy Metropolis unless you get on your knees and beg me for mercy. So you got Superman on his knees in front of Zavam. Ah, you're so great. I'm so sorry.
Strange.
Like stuff like that. It's just wacky stuff. It's real fun though.
Okay.
But it opened up again a whole bunch of rabbit holes.
You gotta look at
opened up.
some weird villains from Superman's past.
Yeah. I want to take a look at some of the other forgotten villains. Did you ever hear of Laudo Malone?
Nope.
Oh.
So I'll wait for that one. Sounds good.
Or Clackcock?
What is that?
Clackcock.
Okay. Clackcock?
Clackcock.
Can't wait to see that one.
K-L-A-K-O-K.
Can't wait to see that one. It's like the guy from The Boys.
Oh, what's it? Love Sausage?
Love Sausage.
He's fantastic.
There you go.
So that's it. That's what I... Oh, wait.
Wait,
I
yeah,
forgot
one
one
more
thing. I did get an
A
action
TIE
figure.
fighter for chat. No.
I did get an action figure. I've always wanted a John Constantine figure. And they had this one for $10, loose
Not bad.
figure. It's actually the new 52 version of Constantine from Justice League Dark. And there was a bunch of different... they had this DC Signature series.
Yeah.
They were based on artist depictions. So yeah, this is the Constantine from that. So, he's going to be on my shelf soon. I'm thinking because these two fingers are up like that, I might get a little, like, fake cigarette to go there.
Oh.
To complete the look.
The whole... Maybe it
Yeah.
came with that. And that's...
Yeah. And then, I'll have my Constantine. I've been reading a lot of Hellblazer lately, so...
Rereading.
Yeah. Well, I actually found some storylines I never read before.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. House of Heroes in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you find yourself down there, go down, say hi to Sean and Eric, and tell them Collector's Confessions sent you.
Email them.
Email them.
If you wanna buy me a
look for
TIE
them
fighter.
on Facebook. Maybe you want to pick up some of those real inexpensive action figures they're holding on to down there.
Send me a TIE fighter.
Send you out a TIE Fighter or a Millennium Falcon.
There you go.
Yeah, and there you go. Cool. So yeah, that's it. That was my South Carolina adventure for comics.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, man. So until next time,
Love what you collect.
collect what you love.
We'll see you soon.